Shalom Aleichem, everyone. This week we read Parshas Tazria Metzora, and the first Rashi of the Parsha teaches us Amar Rav Simloi, Keshem Sheyitziraso Shel Adam Achar Kol Behema Chai Va'ov B'Maaseh Bereishis, Kach Toraso Nis Parsha Achar Toras Behema Chai Va'ov. Just like in the creation of the world, first the Torah describes the creation of animals, birds, and the like, then mankind. So too when it comes to their tumos, last week's Parsha Shmini, we had the tumos of animals, and this week's parsha we go into the tumos of human beings. Something very significant over here. The laws of tumos seem to be very technical, but Rav Simloi is teaching us there's something very profound, something that links us back into Ma'aseh Bereishis. And perhaps one contemplates there's another fundamental difference between animal tumos and humans, and that is a human can become tameh, and that's what our parsha is all about, while he is alive. Whereas an animal, a nevela, a sheretz, they can only be tameh after death. Humans, we have in this week's parsha, we have a tumah of nida, a balkeri, a zav, a zava, tsaras, yoledes. These are all tumos that a human being experiences while he or she is living. An animal only has tumah after death. What's the common denominator of all these tumos? So the Kuzari writes, in Maimer Beis Osamach, that the common denominator is all human tumah links somehow to death. Of course, death is the aviavos hatumah, but a person can partake of death even when he's alive. For example, the nida, a woman who's menstruating, a balkari, a man who has a seminal emission, so that's potential life. They're carrying potential life, an egg and zera, and that does not get realized. That's potential life that doesn't reach its potential, so that generates tumah. Zav, zava, these are people that have a failure somehow in their reproductive system, potential life that doesn't get realized. Saras, a limb of a person is deadened, so that's a dead limb essentially, and that triggers tumah. The only exception to the rule seemingly is yoledes. Yoledes, a woman who's giving birth, is producing life, not death, chas v'shalom. So why does she become tameh? And I think the answer is because, it's not the zachar, the nekeva, the child that becomes tameh. It's the mother who becomes tameh. Why does she become tameh? Because while she was carrying the fetus, so she was one guf, one body, carrying two neshamos. And now with the birth, that neshama now becomes independent of the mother. So now that guf of the mother is only carrying one neshama instead of two. She lost the neshama, netilas neshama, and therefore that triggers, that engenders once again tumah. And perhaps this is a core and fundamental idea contrasting animals to human beings. An animal, beis, hey, mem, hey, ba, ma. What does it have inside of it? Nothing. There's nothing. Its potential is minimal. It is what it is. And therefore its tumah is engendered when it dies. But a human being has tremendous potential, has so much upside to produce, to accomplish, to create. And when that doesn't get realized, when that potential is not achieved, that's what triggers a sense of tumah. Lost potential, lost opportunities, lost capabilities. That's the message. That's the core message of Ma'aseh Bereishis. Human beings are the end of the creation process because now we are given the task. Take this universe, take this world and build it out and create and take this potential and realize that potential. And if chas v'shalom, a human being fails to do that, fails to take that potential and bring it out, fails to take that life and bring it further, then that's tumah. That's a failure. That's the message, perhaps, of this week's parsha. May we all be zoche to take our potential and expand and make it bigger and make it greater. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.